What's up, guys? Fast Eddie here, and today we're going to analyze Dan Allen. You know, this guy's really up there as far as the predators that I despise. He was arrested previous to the TCAP sting for stalking a woman, I believe. This guy, and we can even see it. It's been a while since I watched his footage, but we can even see from his brief exchange with Chris that this guy is just bubbling below the surface with violence and with malice and kind of with just almost like an evil aura. But yeah, to better understand how this guy operates, we're just gonna play this and analyze every bit of the exchange he has with Chris.
Hello?
Hello?
Hey, Hope, come on in. I just got finished drying my hair, okay? Well, I'm gonna take
Okay, so we have pretty much first sight of this guy. It's a profile picture, but we can still see he's fat. This motherfucker is just straight up fat. And like I said before, I would never criticize someone for how they look or for anything about them. But if you're a predator, then fuck you. So yeah, this guy's fat as shit. He's got this kind of like salt and pepper hair thing going. And he's still rocking this long hair. Like this guy, looks like he might go to a fucking Led Zeppelin concert after the Sting House. But yeah, and he's wearing like one of those old school like rocker t-shirts, like baseball tees, I think they're called, where the sleeves are a certain color. Um, so yeah, let's see.
I don't know.
What don't you know?
And that's my favorite line from Dell. That what don't you know? Look, let's listen to it again.
I don't know.
What don't you know?
And I think that that line is so good because that she was smiling when she said it. Like there are certain things that we say that you can just tell that the person, even if you're not looking at them, like you can tell that they're smiling. And it's like she was doing such a good job at imitating someone being flirtatious. She wasn't being flirtatious with fucking Dan Allen, but she was doing an excellent job of like pretending that she was being flirtatious with him, just acting in general.
Come on over here and have a seat, please.
There we go.
Good, how are you?
All right.
How are we doing?
What's going on?
Okay, so he immediately sits down. He doesn't get aggressive there. So from the initial encounter, he doesn't really jump. He just hunkers down and does what Chris says. I think he's just thinking. He's not going to react too quickly here. He's just waiting to see what's going on before he reacts. So at this point, he's just going with the flow.
I just meeting a friend that I met on the internet.
Meeting a friend.
Yeah.
And who's your friend who you met on the internet?
Sam. Sam. Yes.
Yes.
And
That was a fucking ominous yes. Yes. um,
Sam is who?
Person I met off the internet.
Man, woman?
Oh, it's a girl.
It's a
girl.
I don't know how old. That's why I'm here. I'm just curious.
You're just curious.
Yeah.
and I think that the original one of the videos that called this guy the Curious Predator might have been fucking purged, but yeah, this guy and like the whole line of "I'm just curious" is so ridiculous. It's like if you were curious about it, um, like why would you risk that? I mean, it doesn't even make any sense. Like you're risking your freedom just to what? To satisfy this curiosity. I mean, it's nonsense. Like he showed up there to meet what he thought was a underage person. So it's not like this guy's a fucking like a sleuth and like he just has to solve all the mysteries. Like next he's gonna go to fucking Egypt to go solve the mysteries of the ancient pyramids.
I didn't bring any booze with me. I didn't
Condoms?
didn't bring any condoms. No.
Just showed up because you're curious.
Yeah. I mean, my car's outside.
Please, relax.
No, yeah, now you made me nervous. My car's outside. I can prove that to you.
I'm sure.
Oh my god, I forgot that was in this. Okay, So as far as the actual line about the car being outside and the booze and whatnot, so not bringing booze doesn't mean that he wasn't gonna have sex with the decoy, and not bringing condoms doesn't mean that he wasn't gonna have sex with the decoy. And the bit about the car just makes no sense. I think that sometimes people just, when they're nervous as fuck, like they'll just respond with anything, and they'll make it sound convincing. Like this guy's like, "My car's outside. I can prove that to you," but like proving that does nothing. Like that doesn't even support his case. Yeah, he said it. I think he just said it because like he wanted to say something. You know, some of these, and that's good. Some of these predators get hella quiet. Corey here was a very silent predator. He was contemplative, you know, and I think this guy's gonna talk and hang himself in doing so.
Sure it is. I'm sure.
But I mean, it was curiosity
Curiosity.
absolutely curiosity that got me.
And what's
Yeah, the same thing that made that made Newton question why the apple fell, right?
Dan,
Dan?
Dan.
And what's your last name, Dan?
Alan.
Alan.
Dan
And
Allen.
what's your screen name for your?
That's so good. Dale comes out. Oh.
Trying to be.
And I love that. So, like, I've used the metaphor previously that, like, when Dell comes out, it's like these guys are in a bad situation. The metaphor I used was they're in a hole, right? So they're falling into a hole. But when Dell comes out, like, the hole that they're in becomes a deep abyss. Like, it immediately intensifies all the anxiety. It immediately intensifies the severity of the situation. And how stressed out they must be as a product.
I'm sorry, I don't know who you are. You're a policeman.
Now we know. See, now we know. So immediately after so now he's questioning. He's like, "What are you talking?" You know, he already he knows where this line of questioning is going. So Chris hasn't made any outright accusations, not outright, but he knows where this is going.
I do this.
Well, Dan, you seem to have had a pretty sexually charged conversation. on the internet.
As most people do on the internet. Yes. I
With,
gotta tell you the
with
truth.
a 13-year-old girl.
Look, now he's all leaning over the counter and shit.
Just have a seat right over
See,
there.
he's like, "Dude, you need to sit down." And that's kind of interesting that his first instinct is to just go lean on a counter like that.
She was that age. That's
Was it
why I
right
was
down-
so damn curious.
Curious. That's the third time you said he's
You know what I mean?
curious.
I was curious enough. I go,
Fourth
I don't want to get in trouble. I don't need this in my life. But I am curious, like
And I hate when these fuckers say that they don't need it in their life. Like you deserve it. He doesn't need it. He deserves it.
I told.
Just take a
Well,
break
wait
for
a
1
minute.
second.
Like I told her tonight, or this afternoon. I would just like to come over and at least meet
Oh
you.
my god, that's so funny. These fuckers who edit this footage are, man. I mean, that's just God's work.
Because you're a cool person.
A cool person.
Yeah, yeah.
How old are you, Dan?
47.
47.
47. This guy's not 47. There's no way that he's 47.
And you say, just wait 1 second, and you say, wow, 13, am I too old? Nah, am I
Well,
too young? I hate to say this, but
okay.
you're
I
young.
hate to say
Why do
this.
you hate to say that?
Let me
Because
say-
it's like I'm some old pervert, but girls are
Yeah,
are
Dave,
so much
but
more fun.
let me say this.
Let me. So he's already begun to stutter too. I think he has a stuttering problem without this, but it's funny. So like already the nervousness is getting to be so much that it's impairing his fucking speech.
I have conversations like this with people that turn out to be guys more than half the time. You know,
More than half the time,
or they turn out to be very nice women.
or women.
Not elderly, but my age. You know? I mean, not that I'm that old.
This
And
guy
that's
can't.
basically how it goes out there. I don't, you know what I mean?
But if somebody tells you they're a 13-year-old girl,
This guy's trying to save himself, and it's like already he'll say something, and then he'll immediately like walk it back, or he'll immediately like clarify something, like my age. Not that I'm that old.
and you show up at the house to meet them, don't you see something inappropriate about that?
Well, I mean, maybe so, but I had my big gal
Oh
said
my
she was
God.
13. There's just no.
She says she's 13. She
Yeah, but
sounds like she's
I've met other
13.
people that weren't 13, and they were 25-year-old men.
So so already he's claimed to have met people who identified This fucking idiot. He's claimed to identify. He's said that he's chatted with people who were claiming to be 13-year-olds, but who are 25-year-old men. And if he found out they were men, that means that he actually met them. So right now he's admitting to doing exactly what he's doing right now with Chris before.
I don't have anything against
You're
that.
losing me here.
I don't have anything against that. And then he's like, and just so you know, I'm cool with gay people.
The whole
Well,
age
I mean-
thing. But if somebody says they're 13, maybe you should just stay away.
Well, yeah, you're absolutely
Right? I
right.
mean, why take a chance?
Well, you're absolutely right. I guess. But I'm
Nobody
like stuttering.
cares.
And he's stuttering because he can't even figure out what his line of defense is going to be. Like he's kind of alternating between I wanted to hang out with them because they were cool, and then also I was curious to see if it was actually. I guess he was curious to see if this person who was actually who they were representing themselves to be online. But that's not a good defense. That is not a good defense when the evidence against you is this fucking heavy.
Consenting adults do on the internet. Or
Right.
it's-
Chris is like, dude, I don't care.
But when you get into a situation where somebody says they're 13,
Well, like I
are
say-
not involved in that.
Like I say, a couple past experiences show that they're never 13. You know.
So he's already said that he's done this before and that previous. So like he's conduct. So this guy's like a fucking scientist. And he's using empiricism. You know, he's performing. He's asking a question, and then he's formulating hypothesis. He's gathering evidence, and now he's gonna come back to confirm or deny his hypothesis.
Visited people online. You visited people who you met online who said they were 13 before.
Well, yeah, 13 or 15.
So it's not the first time you've done it.
See,
Well, no, wait a minute.
see, he can't
I've
even
never
do
met a
it.
13-year-old girl.
I mean, he's too fucking retarded to to be able to adequately defend himself using creativity. So, I mean, instead of trying to lie, like he was gonna try and lie his way into a defense, but he lacks the skills to adequately defend himself. He's just incriminating himself further.
From offline.
Well, what I'm
That's what I'm
saying
trying to
is,
say.
did you ever go
Because-
meet somebody who said they were 13 online?
No, not 13.
He said that he did. He's already so that's an outright lie. He literally said that he had done these. Previous results have confirmed.
16 in my area.
16
and
in his
there was
area.
A guy that was, I don't know, mid-20s, you know, who had a big laugh on me.
How fucking awkward. And I wonder if Dan showed up to that guy's house like ready to fuck if you thought it was like a 16-year-old girl. Which even if you showed up and even if Dan would have fucked a 16-year-old, that still would have been illegal. He still would have been a sex offender. So it's not like that even really fucking saves him. He just volunteered evidence against him, you know, that none of us even had. None of us even had access to this until until it came out of his stupid fat ass mouth.
That's why I was just very curious.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a programmer. Basically, I work for myself. I do a lot of
Which probably means he's unemployed.
buying and selling.
Antiques?
A lot of antiques, yes.
I will come to you and we will get a place.
And what is buying and selling with antiques? What does it have to do with computer programming or with programming? That has nothing to do with programming. Those two things. Dan Allen is probably like he probably sells fucking shitty trinkets on eBay. That's probably what he was doing back then, and he calls himself a fucking import exporter.
For passionate love.
Yeah, well,
I'd give his ass a thumbs down on eBay, 1 star.
what does that sound like to you?
Sounds like you want to
it's-
fuck, bro.
It's all
She says, "Oh my God, how cool!"
yeah, but
WWL.
she's like it's a role play thing, you know. And
Role play,
somebody's
dude.
role playing, you know.
Play roles.
All the time it goes like that.
I have an idea.
But you are very right. This is
You are very right.
this is not good.
I have an idea. When we meet, and if you want to do stuff, you're in charge. Then you go on to say that
And I don't think that he was being serious. I think that just based off of the characteristics that I've observed thus far, and from what I know about him as a human being, I doubt that he would have let the decoy set the limits for that evening. I think that he would have been pushy if he wanted to have sex there. He might have. This guy might have raped. I mean, this guy might have like forcefully raped. I mean, and I don't say that about all the predators. I think there are some predators who just would never have raped because they were just so weak and fucking beta. But I don't know. But this guy, I feel fairly confident in saying that he might have raped the decoy. So I think it's bullshit. I think that he was saying that just to get her to let her guard down, to feel like she can trust him.
She's got to keep it secret.
Well,
Our secret. That's so sexy because I really would like to meet you, do things, have dinner, whatever. I've never met anyone from Yahoo before. If there's nothing wrong with what you're doing, why are you telling her that it's got to be kept secret?
well, basically, what you know, the whole thing is that what I was telling her is, look, I don't. Are you for real? Because I want
Oh, there is a transition. I wonder if there's additional footage that we'll never have, but oh well.
to ask her, are you for real?
But that's not
Are
what
you for real?
No, I have said that in there though, because I don't need this in my life. I take my father's blind. I take care of him, and I don't want to get in trouble. Look, you know.
And that's something he should have thought about before he went out doing this shit, right? It's like, I mean, if you commit a crime or something and you go to jail, like no shit, like yeah, you not only are you punished, but oftentimes, if you're a parent or if you're a spouse to someone, like your fucking spouse or your family gets punished too, because the person who was taking care of him or the person who was providing for him is no longer able to do that. So, yeah, and it's like shit like this, like it sucks for Dan Allen's dad. Like so if Dan Allen's dad at the moment of the sting, probably was blind, and um he probably did need someone to take care of him. And after this, it wasn't Dan. I think Dan went to jail or some shit. But so yeah, it just sucks. It sucks, and that's what I feel bad for.
I don't want to. In fact, today I said, if I could, if nothing else, I'll meet you because you are a cool person. All right. And like I say, having my doubts that it's
These fucking farts are so ridiculous. I forgot these farts are going to be included in this.
13-year-old girl because
Hopefully, I don't get a fucking strike for it though, unless a certain someone owns the farted version of this shit too.
of the way she just came off, the way she types, she purposely misspells words. I mean, it was kind of obvious. Tell you the truth.
It was obvious.
And
See, and he's one of those guys who thinks he's so fucking smart that he could spot a decoy. So now it's obvious. So okay, let's think about this. So now he's saying that he was sure that it was a decoy. He's sure that it was bullshit because of the misspellings that he said were intentional. So he said it's obvious that it was a decoy. Yet when he first showed up, he said that he was there because he was curious. So it's like if you were curious, then you wouldn't in the later part of this be saying that you knew it was a decoy. So this guy, I mean, this is why so few predators try and defend themselves like this because it's fucking hard. You have to think very quickly on your feet, and I don't think any predators were really able to do that.
actually, see, I was right.
You
What
were
else
right.
can you teach me, do you think? Whatever you like. Like, if you want to explore the male body, you can do that. Show you
That's
how-
disgusting. This guy's the worst. Look at this fat fucker. That's the worst male body that like a teenager could ever be exposed to. That's fucking horrible. I mean, obviously it's bad to be exposed to all of them, but I'm just saying this guy's especially disgusting.
Orgasms, even if you don't want to have sex,
That's
I can show you
when I
different
thought
positions.
she was actually a guy and a gay guy. Like I say, it's all cyberspace.
Cyberspace. I mean, it is cyberspace, but it's also real life.
To go
What does that mean? It's all cyberspace. Fuck. That's actually like so fucking deep. That's like philosophy. Like it's all cyberspace.
internet and use it to try to solicit somebody who you believe is underage for sex. You get that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, but wasn't
So-
my intent.
So he said that he gets that it's illegal to do exactly what he's done.
Like she said, oh, do you have marijuana or whatever, you know? And I said, oh yeah. I don't.
Oh, he's gonna bring
I
weed?
didn't do any of that. I don't encourage minors to drink. I didn't bring any of that. You know, I didn't.
What would have happened?
I wonder if he's high. I think Daniel Polito was high. I wonder if he's a little high. That would suck.
Dan, if I wasn't here and if
Probably I would have just talked to her and left.
Just talked.
Probably, you know what? What I was thinking on the way here, I was thinking, telling her the dangers of the internet. Because I am a really nice, mellowed, nice guy.
I fucking hate when people say that they're nice guys. I think that's just a pet peeve because I have met people who are my friends who will say like, I'm a nice guy, and they are nice guys, but it's like, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's like a humble thing, but I don't. This guy's not a nice guy. I think that's bullshit. And by the end of the fucking brief interaction with Chris, like I said, we'll have fucking evidence that he's not a nice guy based off of this guy's actions.
But I really didn't think it'd be a 13-year-old girl either. I thought it would be an older woman.
Why were you so cautious then about this whole thing and telling her that you couldn't tell anybody?
His story makes no
Well-
sense.
Just, I don't want anybody to know that I cyber things out on the internet.
Hey, well, you're in luck, Dan. You're in luck.
But I don't know. Just, I don't know if I started it or if she did, or she came across and said, it's our little secret. And I said, oh, that's cool. You know, but
sounds
I
like
did- I
you
did
brought it
keep-
up first.
And it's so funny when guys who are like reluctant to talk about, or guys who are like, oh, I don't want people to know that I'm sexting or whatever. It's like not only do the people around you, they knew at the time, but it's also immortalized online for people to analyze years later.
Well,
Oh my god. Okay, these farts are
maybe
getting
so.
out of
I'm not
control.
I don't have it memorized, you know. I mean, I just don't know. But
He's like, I don't know what I said. I was high.
the whole, you know what? The whole thing is that I tried. It's like I got sucked in almost because I really wanted to meet you. And it's like yesterday I'm going, no, this isn't good. This isn't right. You know, I have too much to lose that my father is blind.
Yeah,
And,
see, so I believe him on that, and I think that so that's how he acts when he's telling the truth on something. He's like right there. He's like, my father really is blind. It's almost like he's like, okay, you know that I'm giving you a line about everything else, but like my dad actually is blind.
She goes, I'm getting mad at you.
I'm getting
You know,
mad
I'm
at you.
going, well, you are really cool. I know. You know, that's
Oh
all.
no, can't have a random 13-year-old girl online mad at you. Oh no,
Dan, really cool. She says she's 13.
Well,
definitely warrants you going over
How
there.
cool could that be?
Yeah, how cool. It's like you fucking idiot.
Like I say, I'll go
You
back.
see how it looks.
I see how it looks. You're absolutely right. You know, I mean, you're right. You're right. It does. What you're saying is correct. You know,
And it's interesting that he just went and sat back down in the chair without even being prompted or instructed. He just walked back over to the chair. It's almost like it's like the defense rests. It's like he's already understood that he can't defend himself, that he can't get himself out of the situation with words, and he's just like, I'm fucking over it, dude.
I agree. Believe me, I mean, that'll be the last time.
Last time you like,
Use Yahoo Messenger.
And he's laughing like it's funny.
Talk to anybody online without really knowing who they are. I mean, I do have some good friends that I've never met, you know, but it's more of a business type thing.
are you a dick?
What the fuck? See, and how weird is that? This guy says, I do have some. I mean, like he tells Chris that, and then he goes into this. He tells Chris this anecdote about, oh, I have friends online who I've never met, and then he goes further into this anecdote and says, but it's more of a business relationship, almost like having this existential crisis where he's like, are we friends because our interests are you know congruent and because we're actually interested in each other's lives, or is it just about business? Like you almost see like and there are relationships like that happen, you know, where it's like it's a business relationship but you make it a friendship additionally because it's just more bearable that way. And it's just funny that it's like I guess like we all have those and we just kind of live with them. But it's funny to see someone like openly question them, especially in this fucking situation right here, of all places. And I wonder if that friend, I wonder what friend he's talking about, and I wonder if that friend knows what happened. You know, if what all of a sudden like Dan Allen just stops messaging him, they're like, oh fuck, he must have died. Little do they know,
To the internet?
No.
Do you have a
he's not
compulsion?
addicted though.
No. Well, I don't think so, no. No. I talk to. I get in on once in a while. You know? Daily, yeah, sometimes. I mean, I have friends.
I'm on the computer all the time. I don't think there's anything really wrong with that. I think that's kind of just the way that life is now. Like there's so many jobs, and like I kind of have to be, you know, like some of us have to be.
Like in the Philippines, Davao City, that help
In the
buy
Philippines?
things for me.
See, what?
Export import, sort of. Even though I'm not an import exporter. So,
So this guy is talking about import exporting now, and I mean, this is just a complete non sequitur. It's entirely unrelated to the line of questioning that he's getting from Chris. He's just filling time.
I don't get in trouble there.
Well,
True.
what do you think should happen here?
He's I don't want to get in trouble
Well,
there too.
Well, I wish I could just run home with my tail between my legs, and you know what? I feel like
So I mean, I wonder if he actually believes that, or if he. I mean, I wonder if he thinks that that's possible. I wonder if this is just wishful thinking. You know, like I wonder what the probability of him thinking that that's gonna happen is right now. If he sees a light at the end of the tunnel.
apologizing, but I mean, like, it's cyber. Who
It's
do I
like
apologize to? And
your dad. That's who you should apologize to. You fucking asshole.
I don't know. I feel sick.
And the woman you stalked,
Well,
and everyone
I am
else
not
you
the
fucked over.
police,
See, here we go.
but I am Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC, and we're doing a story on computer predators.
Well, you better. I'll shove that camera down his
I
throat.
don't think you're going to like it.
How's that?
Why is that?
No, we can't.
So for this guy to immediately go to that, I mean, it's so funny that he threatens that. Like this fat fuck, this fat fucking old guy is gonna attack like three or four fucking younger guys than him. Um, and it's like imagine what it would have been like for the cameraman or for Chris or Ron Knight or whoever if Dan Allen would have actually lunged at him. Like how fucking cool would it have been to come home from work and be like a fucking predator. I was filming a predator get busted, and then the fucker attacked me, and then me and all my coworkers beat his ass. Like that would be the coolest fucking story that you would ever have in your life. Like how you fucking like defended yourself against this fucking piece of shit predator on a show. And if it was filmed, like that would have been the most epic thing on television ever.
Keep you here. If you want to say anything else to us, we'd love to hear it. You're free to leave, obviously, if you want to go.
Okay, but can I talk to you outside?
Can I talk to you outside?
You can say whatever you want to say.
I wonder too whether he meant like can I talk to you about, you know, like filming, or can I further explain or plead to not be on the show? Or I wonder if he was like, hey, you want to step outside? Like if he was trying to fucking square up with Chris right there.
Well, I mean, I obviously want to say something off camera.
Well, I can't have the cameras turned off at this point.
They're rolling, babe.
Well, then I'd like to
Baby.
say, pretty much, I think you have it all wrong. But your point's well taken.
Points well taken. That's so funny. Points well taken. You could like say that in people say that in various scenarios, but it's funny to hear that in this one.
And believe me,
Believe me.
I listen to you. So,
So he knows who Chris is. He said that he didn't outright say he knows who Chris is, but he said I've listened to you. So, and he didn't specify whether he meant he's watched To Catch a Predator before or whether he's just heard of Chris. But probably from Predator because everything else was pretty much bullshit. To catch a lotto scammer.
sincerely,
Yeah, right.
you know.
If you want to follow up, my email's on here, my phone's on there. You can
Oh, he got one of those cards. Same as Corey here.
Hi guys.
Hi, guys.
Pretty weird. Cut.
just say, "Are you free to leave?"
like, dude, Chris is like, dude, what are you doing? He's like, just fucking leave. And it's like right there. So like, it's all Dan Allen is trying to be charismatic. He's trying to take control of the situation and make light of it. But it's not funny. Like no one laughs. He's trying to relieve the tension. Tension builds up in communication, and we relieve it. We seek to relieve it. It's like catharsis, and he tried to do it there, but I mean, he only just relieved it for himself. Like everyone else still fucking hates him. Like he's still everyone else's fucking enemy.
Here, if you had anything else you'd like to say, fine.
No, you're just doing a story, and I've got caught up in it, is what you're saying. But it's probably a very.
They're not enemy, but fucking person they're filming.
Maybe show other people.
Anything else you'd like to say?
He thinks about it. I like how this fucker thinks about it like hella hard. Like, fuck, is there anything else? He's just racking his mind. He's thinking. I wonder. He's probably just really reflecting on the his friend in the Philippines. Like, he's like, what are they gonna think of me now?
Nope.
Nope. He just can't even move, and now he's staring at the cameraman. It's like this guy. He just stared. I mean, and that's it. That on a serious note, that is a very hostile look. That is an aggressive and menacing look. His eyes are narrowed. His eyebrows are kind of raised, just to absorb. I bet you his pupils are dilated to absorb as much light as possible to make quick movements. On a physiological level, I mean, this guy just must be. He just must be internally just combusting with anger and rage, and he's doing a good job at containing that. I'll give him that. But he's doing a horrible job at defending himself, and he's not even doing that great of a job at containing his anger, as you saw. I mean, he fucking threatened the guy.
Why don't you come on off the front if you want?
You sure?
Yeah.
All right, guys, that's Dan Allen. Until next time.